I'm going to review a cool harem animation called Urusei Yatsura. Ataru is a high school student who enjoys rizzing girls. He is chosen to compete against the aliens who invaded the Earth, but he accidentally ripped off the alien girl's clothes and won the competition to become Earth's hero. The girl falls in love with Ataru and wishes to live with him and marry him. But you know Ataru already rizzed the most beautiful girl as his girlfriend. Ataru is a rizz god who is frequently drawn to females. Being the rizz god is not easily loyal to anyone. Let's see how things go in Ataru's exciting harem life. At the beginning of the story, numerous massive alien airships arrived in America blocking the sun. When humans look up at the massive airship, they are filled with dread. Lightning strikes the Statue of Liberty on a regular basis. Inside the airship is a group of alien invaders ready to take over the Earth. Meanwhile, Japan has not been invaded by aliens, and people are going about their daily lives as usual. Ataru also appears at this time. Ataru is a boy who is so obsessed with girls that he is constantly staring at other girls that his girlfriend Miyake gets jealous. Ataru promises Miyake that he only likes her to make her happy. Other girls draw Ataru, and he ends up getting slapped in the face by Miyake. Ataru is depressed and lying beside the bridge. Sakuranbo, this little midget monk, runs over and knocks him into the river. He assumed Ataru intended to jump off the bridge. He didn't want any mishaps, so he ran into Ataru while attempting to do something good. After today's string of bad luck, Ataru is even more frustrated by the explanation. But that's not all. A swarm of men in black suits rushes over and surrounds Ataru. The alien leader, it turns out, starts a game. They choose an Earthman at random to play a one-on-one game. To win, the Earthman must catch the horn on the alien's head within 10 days. When the Earthman fails, the alien will take over. If the aliens lose, they will leave the Earth in peace. Ataru is the one who is chosen at random. Miyake is concerned that something bad will happen to Ataru, which she is vehemently opposed to. At this point, the daughter of the chief alien appears to be the one who will compete with Ataru. Lum's hot body fascinates Ataru. During the game, he will try to rizz Lum. Miyake sees right through his thoughts and storms out. The alien leader declares that the game will begin tomorrow. Ataru is the only one who can save the planet. Many aliens and humans congregate in the stadium where the competition begins. Ataru is surprised to learn that Lum can fly. He can't even touch her. Despite this, Ataru keeps cheering for himself and fantasizing that his victory will make him a hero who all girls will want after. It's unfortunate for Ataru that Lum dodges him so quickly. She either runs to the delicious human food or falls asleep on the rooftop. After 9 days, Ataru has still failed to meet Lum, let alone grab the horn on Ram's head. The alien leader arrogantly predicts that the Earth will be his for an interview. Ataru's parents are under a great deal of stress. People will blame Ataru when the Earth collapses. Ataru is stressed out about the situation at the end of the game on the final day. To cheer up Ataru, Miyake promises to marry him if he wins the game. This kind of encouragement motivates Ataru to win tomorrow. On the final day of the competition, Ataru runs faster than ever before, reaching Lum's feet. Lum, on the other hand, gives him an electric shock like she's Pikachu. Ataru, who has been knocked down by the electric shock, tries desperately to get up. He keeps going back to Lum because he doesn't want to give up. Ataru is extremely motivated to win the game and marry Miyake. He catches Lum in such a surprise attack that her chest chokers fall off while Lum is struggling. Lum is so enraged that she uses an electric shock on Ataru once more. She rushes angrily to Ataru to get her chest chokers. Ataru beats her at her own game, and he uses the chest chokers as bait to grab the horn on Lum's head. At the end of the competition, the Earthmen win the game. Ataru is so excited that he begins fantasizing about all the things he will be doing with Miyake. The accident occurred here. Previously, Ataru had been shouting for marriage. It turns out that Lum misinterpreted what Ataru said and mistook it for a proposal to her. She becomes distracted during the competition and is caught by Ataru. Lum has publicly stated that she wishes to marry Ataru. The alien leader fails in his attempt to occupy Earth and loses his daughter to Ataru's rizz. Nobody pays attention to what Ataru has to say. Lum decides to stay in Ataru's house, and Ataru attempts to flee but is paralyzed by Lum's electric shock. This scene repeated itself for several days after that. Lum is a humanoid Pikachu who uses electric shocks on Ataru whenever he tries to drive Ram out. Later, Lum becomes frustrated with Ataru's constant avoiding and retreats to her flying saucer. She has been interfering with Ataru and Miyake's conversation with radio waves. After being disturbed by radio waves, a passing plane disappears. Even the news reported on this incident, and the host commented that Ataru's love triangle had disrupted the Earth's order. Ram is unconcerned about the scandal. She increased the radio waves to disrupt Ataru and Miyake's phone calls. Ataru decides to spend time with Miyake, but Lum is envious of her use of high-tech devices to control the thunder and lightning. Ataru will be punished as long as he is outside the door. Ataru's father lent him his rubber raincoat because he is so determined to see Miyake. With this completely insulating raincoat, Ataru has more confidence to do what he wants to do. Sakuranbo is also moved by Ataru's adoration. He offers to assist, but he messes it up to a way that Ataru is hit by a telephone pole. As a result, Ataru becomes so mad and knocks Sakuranbo flying in the air. Lum noticed Ataru and Miyake running toward each other. She intensifies the lightning and causes a large-scale power outage on the planet. In the dark, Ataru and Miyake embrace. Lum is drowning in jealousy right now because she controls the flying ship and crashes into them. The violent strike scatters smoke and dust everywhere, and Ataru confuses Lum for Miyake and hugs her. It's now Miyake's turn to be envious. Everything that happens in the days that follow turns Ataru's family upside down. Ataru must deal with the clingy Lum, who is trying to marry him. This is only the start. When Ataru is in class, the teachers and classmates are suppressing their rage. Miyake is even more enraged, and she cries frequently. Lum returns to the classroom and attempts to flirt with Ataru on a regular basis. Lum forcing a kiss on Ataru elevates the entire situation. Everyone thinks of him as a jerk who ghosted Miyake. Miyake goes insane, picking up the table and slamming Ataru mercilessly. Following the argument, Ataru is pressed down by a pile of chairs. Ataru has numerous injuries. He must be cautious of Lum's electric shock. Ataru is unable to cope with recent events, so he disguises himself and flees his home. Lum can fly and use electric shock, and she has a whole force that can take over the Earth at any time. Ataru's plan to flee not only failed, but it was also broadcast on TV with a photo of him leaving home. When Ataru tries to flee again, he runs into a girl. Their intimate interaction turns lustful. He just had a full hand on her, you know what? Sakura is a witch, and she sees a disaster coming after Ataru, all of which are related to women. Sakura, despite her frailty and illness, is very kind to others. She has never been cured of her illness, but she still wishes to help others. When Sakura brings Ataru back home to exorcise evil spirits, Ataru notices Sakura's mother looks like that annoying monk Sakuranbo. He panics and attempts to flee, but Sakura's mother catches him with a rope. Sakura is obstinate, and Ataru attempts to flee several times before being apprehended. Meanwhile, Sakura's mouth swells to the size of a baseball. Sakura turns out to be much sicker than other people, and she is extremely weak, as if she has been cursed since she was a child. Sakura experienced headaches and heart complications several times during her exorcism of Ataru. The exorcism ceremony was repeatedly interrupted. Ataru is terrified by this strange energy, and he notices an increasing number of goblins crawling on him. Sakura feels that all her diseases have vanished halfway through the exorcism ceremony. It turns out that Sakura accidentally transferred all the evil spirits from her to Ataru. Sakura then sealed all of these devils, but Satan learns of her actions here. Satan launches an attack on Ataru's Johnson. When Ataru is taken to the hospital, his family becomes concerned that he is in a coma. When a beautiful nurse passes by, Ataru immediately turns around and hits on her. The nurse is irritated, and Lum uses electric shocks on Ataru. Ataru, who is apprehended and returns home, resumes his daily life of being electrocuted by Lum. He asks Sakuranbo if he can seal Lum's superpower as he does the evil spirits. Sakuranbo creates a ribbon to seal Ataru's superpowers for her own safety. He asks Sakura to find someone to send it to Ataru so that Lum's superpower would be sealed as long as Ataru put the ribbon on Lum. Only Ataru is capable of removing the ribbon. When Ataru receives the ribbon and lies to Lum into believing it is a gift from the husband to his wife, Lum falls for it. Lum's ability to fly and use electric shock is completely lost once her horn is tied with the ribbon. Lum hasn't realized yet that it's Ataru's trick. She shows off her ribbon to Miyake when she comes to give Ataru food, making Miyake jealous and wanting to avoid Ataru. Lum has lost her superpower as well as her sense of security that night. She has been staying with Ataru and attempting to live with him. She discovers a letter addressed to Ataru by Sakuranbo. Everything is now in the wash, and she realizes it was Ataru who wanted her superpower sealed. Lum scratches Ataru's face with her fingernails. Ataru is already feeling guilty, and now he is forced to untie the ribbon Lum, which restores and intensifies her superpower. Ataru is doomed to escape tonight. Sakuranbo's divination predicts that he will be involved in trouble, so he flees with his luggage. If you made it to the end, leave a RIP Ataru in the comments section to confuse the fake fans from the real ones. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel.